Vampus and his minions have raided Figgyville, stolen all the villagers' pressies, and decapitated the Starosta. It is evil beyond compare, so the Baron and his specialist unit have been called in to save the Yuletide celebrations and retrieve the errant body part. They start by following the trail of discarded wrapping paper. This short campaign will consist of 3 scenarios. The unit will have to cross the dead marshes, wend their way through the labyrinth, and finally confront Vampus in his lair. They're led by Baron Igor Jerkov. He has great faith and is inspiring. Known only as the priest, the unit's champion of faith has miracles and is a supernatural veteran. He carries a holy symbol. Ivan the Impaler is a veteran hunter and he's hard to put down. Molotov is a sapper and Plonker some infantry fodder. They managed to crawl their way out of the fields of terror from the last scenario. Boris is a werebear and Urinator is a Cossack Irregular, a new member of the unit. For interest, current experience points totals for the unit are as follows. Clearly the Baron, the Priest and Ivan the Impaler, hanging around as long as they have done, are top of the table. Well, here's the dead marshes, the discarded wrapping paper denoted by the coloured jewels. The Serebryanyy Shtyk have got to make their way off this corner of the table, following the trail across the marsh, across the streams, across the rickety old bridges, and dispatching the ghouls along the way. And there they are, just entering this corner of the marsh. There'll be some special rules for this scenario. Firstly, noxious gases. On every even turn, each member of the unit will have to roll a task number, and a failure will result in the loss of 1 health. There'll also be a bog monster lurking in the marshes, and he's a big old blobby beast and will cause them a lot of trouble. He'll be attracted to musket fire or may appear randomly after the investigation of a clue marker. So the unit have already entered the marshes, no reaction from the ghouls as they're too far away. Urinator, the Cossack Irregular, is leading the way. First to activate this turn is Ivan the Impaler. Well, he'll have to barge his way past everybody there. Then it's Molotov. He will come here. He's going to sprint across the rickety bridge, which he doesn't do actually, probably because it's rickety. Urinator moves up next. He's on the bridge, but old matey's blocking the way. And you know what? I'm just going to move the rest of the gang up. Well, first up is Molotov, and he will come down here to provide protection to the front. Urinator next. He'll come down here, give him some support. Now it's Ivan. He'll go across there and go to that clue marker. He's got the Queen. A pair of fluffy woolen socks. Add 1 skill die to the fate pool. This is obviously minion discarded pressies that they don't fancy. They're close enough now for the ghoul to react and move. And he'll close in on Molotov. Ghoul's attack is +1. That's 13. Molotov's defense is 13. It's 6 damage, but the ghoul is strong, so it's 7. Molotov's health drops to 4 immediately. He will strike back. He's on +1. 8, 9 is a miss, and the ghoul will back away. Next up is the priest. He will cross that bridge there and try to do a miracle cure onto Molotov. He gets 13. Molotov gains 3 health. Priest drops to 10. Boris is up now. He'll cross the bridge. I think it's a bit early for bear action. Plonker will move across here and he will fire at the ghoul. Nick 0 because he moved. 15. 5 points of damage. And finally the Baron bringing up the rear with the beer and the gear. Right, that's the end of turn. Several things are going to happen now. I need to roll to see if the bog monster is going to react to the musket. 8+ on a d10. Oh, god blimey, already. There he is in all his blubbering glory. He's got amphibious as one of his traits, therefore he can go straight across this marsh. Look out. Got to also roll for a random event. 7. Another 2 ghouls appear. Fortunately for the unit, they're a long way away from them at the moment. They're by the last discarded wrapping paper in the corner of the table. And finally, I've got to roll for the noxious gases coming out of the marsh. I'm not going to do that all on camera. I'll just try and work out who's dropped a health point and who hasn't. Well, that's disastrous rolling for the unit off camera. The only people that weren't affected by the gases were Urinator and Plonker. Everybody else loses a health point. End of turn. Right, first to activate is Molotov. He will go straight into the ghoul. He's only got 6 health left at the moment. He's suffering a bit, his old mollers. +1 melee is 13. Ghoul's defense is 13. 5 damage, but he's got a heavy weapon, so it's 6. Ghoul's up to 11. He's reeling, but will strike back. And misses spectacularly. Molotov backs away. Next to activate is Ivan. Now he can wend his way over here through the gap, and he will rush the ghoul for melee. And he's +3 on that, which is 13, 16 for 6 damage, and that ghoul is finished off. Well done, Ivan. Now it's the priest. He'll move forward here. I think he'll try another miracle on Molotov as he's down on 6 health, which he does. Back up to 9. Now the bog monster's on the move. Boris at the back, he'll just move forward there. Urinator will wend his way through that, cross the bridge and get to the clue marker. We'll have to look at it next time though. Plonker. He's going to reload and fire at the bog monster. +1 to hit. 14, 15. Unfortunately for the bog monster, he is very large, so it's also a +2 to hit, so that's definitely hit that, and it's 7 damage. But unfortunately it's not. He's got so much blubber, the musket ball goes into him, is absorbed, and it's damage reduction of 6. So bog monster just loses 1 health, and is therefore at 19, having a hefty 20 to start with. Final activation is the Baron, and he's just going to push his way through the gang and get onto the little bridge. End of turn. First to activate is Ivan. He is just going to backtrack a little bit, pop over there and have a go at the bog monster. +1 because he moved. 15, 16. 5 damage, but damage reduction of 6 means that it does not affect him. Molotov is up next. He will just swing around and also fire. He's on +1. And that's a miss, and he'll reload. Boris is up now. He will go along here. The Baron's blocking the rickety bridge, but he can cross that little stream. That's him. The bog monster slithers closer. A bit scary now. And this ghoul starts to make his way across that rickety bridge and the swamp. And these two start ambling over here. Plonker's up now. It's a desperate reload and fire right into the face of the bog monster. +1. Wow, look at that. That is 13, 15 because of bog monster being so big. 10 damage reduced to 4. And Plonker is unloaded again. Urinator's up now. He's at the clue marker. What's he found? It's the King of Spades. A piece of shiny wrapping paper. No effect. Oh, how disappointing. The Baron's up now. He will finish crossing the bridge, go over there. And the last man is the priest, and he will follow. End of turn. And we all know what happens at the end of even turns. Firstly, a random event. 5. Another ghoul pops up right by the Baron. And they've all got to make a save for the noxious gas. Again, I'll do this off camera. This time it's the Baron, Ivan the Impaler and the priest who do not inhale anything too nasty. The rest take another health damage. First to activate this turn is Molotov, who will fire and reload. +3. That's not good enough. Next up is Ivan, who will reload and fire. +4. That is 20, with 7 points of damage, reduced to 1. Bog monster is still on 14 health. And over here the priest is up. I think he's just going to wait for the Baron to get over and do the ghoul. Right, the ghoul will move straight into attack the Baron. +1. 11 is a miss. The Baron will strike back. He's on +2. Also a miss. And the ghoul will back away. Look out, chaps, the bog monster slithers over to Plonker. Oh dear, oh dear. So you've got +3 melee with his tentacles lashing out, and he's very strong. That's 10, 13. Plonker's defense is 13. That's a hit for 4, +2 is 6. Plonker drops to 3 health and will strike back. He's +1 melee, but he's very large, so it's +3. 11 is a miss. How he missed him, I don't know. The bog monster slithers away. Well, Plonker is up now. I think he is going to reload and fire. Point blank range, not that it makes much difference. He's got a fatigue, so it's just +2. 9, 11. Miss. And he remains unloaded. I think it's time for Boris to do something. He will turn himself into a bear if he can. No, he doesn't. Okay, right, he will just move and he'll go over there. Baron's up now. He will fire at the ghoul on the rickety bridge. Net 0 because of fatigue. And that's a miss. And he will reload. And finally, Urinator, I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to turn around, move over there and fire at the bog monster. He's got a pistol, it's just in range. +2 because of the size of the monster. 9, 11 is a miss. End of turn. 2. A horrifying scream rings out. As if the bog monster right in front of these 3 isn't bad enough, they've got to do a terror check. Right, let's do Plonker first. He's -3, but he's +1 courage, so it's a -2 on this roll. Gets a 5 then. Shaken. The figure suffers a -1 on checks for the rest of the game. We'll try and remember that. Ivan. Ivan is also -2. So that's 6. He is shaken. Molotov. 19. That's okay. And the rest of the gang here get a bonus +1 because of inspiring of Baron. Right, we'll do Urinator first. So it's just -2. And that is 14. So that's okay. The priest, he is +2. Ooh, which is 8. He gets -1 for next turn. Boris is -2. Dear oh dear. 4 becomes 2. Boris collapses. He's gone mad. Off the table, got to roll for him afterwards. And the Baron himself is net 0. Gets 12, so he's okay. Oh, crikey. Right, next turn it is Plonker to activate. I guess he's going to do the same again. Reload fire. +3. Okay, so that is 20 with 7 points of damage reduced to 1. They are chipping away, but it's slow work here. Bog monster is on 13 health. The Baron steams into the ghoul. He's on +2. 16, 18 for 6 points of damage. And the ghoul will strike back. 14, which hits the Baron for 5 points of damage. He's down to 7 health. And the Baron will back away. And next up is the priest. And I think he's going to do a hallelujah, or attempt to, on the Baron. He does. So, priest drops by 1. He's on 8. And the Baron's back to 10 health. The ghoul will move in. Net 0. 10 is a miss. Baron will strike back. +1. 14. Defense is 13. That's a hit for 5 damage. And the ghoul backs away. He's hanging out. This ghoul here, going across the swamp. And these 2 will move over. Bog monster doesn't actually have to move. He's got a 3-inch lunge. He will smash a tentacle into Plonker. +3. 17, 4 damage, 6 damage because he's very strong, and Plonker is going to die. So I think I'll do damage reduction. 9, which is 5. So he has 2 health left, but survives. Ivan's up. He'll do a reload and fire. And that's a pathetic miss. Molotov, exactly the same. +3. Oh, well, damage reduction is going to negate all of that. Dear oh dear, and he'll reload. And finally, Urinator will reload and fire. He's going to be +3. 13. It's a hit, but damage reduction means no effect. End of turn. 9. And that is no event. Lucky. Okie dokie, first to activate is the Baron. I think he'll shoot at the ghoul on the rickety bridge. He's got a +1. Which is 14, 10 damage, and that ghoul's gone. And the Baron will move over to that clue marker, which you'll look at next time. Plonker's up now. He's going to reload and skedaddle over to the bridge. And Ivan the Impaler will reload and fire.
That's 11. Well, I was going to say it's plus a couple because of the size of the bog monster, but damage reduction means that is negated. Right, well, this ghoul is going to move in on Baron. Plus 1. 19, 20, 9 points of damage. The Baron will have 1 health left if we don't do something, so he's got to do a damage reduction there. 5, so he takes 4 and still drops to 6. He will fight back. He's plus 2. Hit for 9 damage. Ghoul will back away. Bog monster slithers forward, lays out a tentacle to Ivan. He's on plus 3. Well, that's a terrible miss. Ivan must have dodged away there. He can't fight back because it's at reach. And the other ghouls have come over the bridge. And a bit of a party over there. Priest is up. This ghoul is hurting bad, so he's going to steam in across that rickety bridge. Where he goes. He's got a plus 1 melee, has the priest. That is 13, 14 for 7 points of damage. And do you know what? The priest has smashed that ghoul. These two chaps desperately trying to fend off this mountain of blubber. Molotov's up now, point blank range. He will fire and reload. Plus 3. That's going to be 16 for 8 points of damage, reduced to 2. Bog monster has 11 health. And Urinator is up now. He will reload and fire. He's on plus 3. 18, 21 for 9 points of damage, reduced to 3. They are chipping away. Bog monster is on 8. Right, end of turn event. 7. We've got another 2 ghouls. And there they are. There's a whole gang of them here. And it's the poisonous gas roll. And again, Plonker, Molotov, Urinator fail the test. Plonker is on 1 health. He's gasping for breath. He's hanging out. Well, first up is Molotov. I suppose he's got to keep on going. He will fire and reload. Plus 3. What's that? 13, 16. It's a hit. 7 points of damage. Reduced to 1. Bog monster's on 7. 5 is Urinator. He will reload and fire. Again, plus 3. That's a miss. And over we go to the Baron, who's by the clue marker. What's he got? Picks up the ace of spades. The bog monster appears. Well, so the lucky there, no effect. Alright, first ghoul will move in on the priest. Plus 1. Is a miss. Priest will fight back. Plus 1. They both miss. The ghoul will back away. Next ghoul comes in. Priest is going to take it. Missed by the ghoul. Priest to be on net 0. 14 is a hit. 9 damage. Ghoul staggers away. These other 2 come across. Start to come through the marsh. Get a bit stuck there. But look at them all. About to surround the priest. Bog monster will lash out again with one of his tentacles. He's on plus 3. But he misses again. Ivan is up. He'll reload and fire. He's plus 3. Which is hit for 1 point of damage. Bog monster's on 6. Plonker's up now. Well, he will run over here and fire. He'll be on plus 1. What's that? 11. That's a miss, and he's unloaded. And the priest is going to beat a hasty retreat back across the bridge. That is end of turn. 10 is no event. First to activate this turn is Molotov, and it's more of the same. It's quick fire and reload. Ooh, now that's a nice one. Plus 3 was 21. More importantly, it's 10 points of damage, which is reduced to 4. But all of a sudden, Bog Monster is on 2. And Urinator's up now. He's going to reload and have a little pop over the stream at the Bog Monster. They've nearly finished him off. He's on plus 3. Oh, look at that. It's a hit for 6 damage, but it's all negated. Unlucky. And over here, the Baron's facing off with 4 ghouls. He'll fire at the right-hand one. It's plus 1. Which is 16 for 6 points of damage. And he'll reload. The Bog Monster will try again to flail Ivan. He does. It's 8 points of damage. Ivan drops to 4 health. Smash. And over here, it's Ghoul-tastic. straight in to attack the Baron. +1. And that's a miss. Baron will strike back. He's on +2, but that's a miss as well. Ghoul backs away. Next ghoul storms in. +1. Miss. The Baron is +1. 14. Hit. 5 damage on the ghoul. Ghoul back away. Another one comes in. +1. 9, 10. No. Miss. Baron will fight back at net 0. Cracking hit. 18 for 8 damage. Ghoul will back away. Baron is going great guns. And the final ghoul will come around here. +1. That is 13, 14 for 8 damage. Oh dear, oh dear. That is going to finish the Baron off, and they've got to use their last skill dice. Saves 4, so takes 4. Baron is on 2, and strikes back at net 0. And that's a miss. Ghoul backs away. Desperate stuff from the Baron, but he's fought 4 ghouls off. The priest will have to attempt another miracle, otherwise the Baron won't last much longer. And he fails. Ivan's on now. Reload fire. 10, 13. Ooh, hold on. We've got defense of 12. He's hit. 9, less 6 is 3. Bog monster slithers away. Ron Huzzah for the unit. Now they can switch targets to the ghouls. Final activation is Plonker. Here he is. He's got to fire across the stream at that ghoul. +1. 15, 10 damage. And Plonker will reload. End of turn. 10, no event. Gas inhalation. Well, fortunately this turn nobody had any nasty inhalation there, so they all remain on their withering health anyway. This is going to be a tough fight to get across the dead marshes with all those ghouls there. Look at them massing. They are damaged, but they're still there. And Plonker's up again. He will simply fire and reload. He'll go for the same target. He's +1. And that's a miss. Urinator will reload and fire at the same ghoul that Plonker was just firing at. +1. 19, 20, 9 points of damage. And he's gone. And here comes Molotov. He's going to go over here and fire at this ghoul. Net 0. 13. Ghoul's defense is 13. 6 damage. And he's gone. Look out, Baron. Here they come again. +1. That's a miss. Baron strike back. He's on +2. That's a miss. Ghoul will back away. Next one charges in. That's a miss. Baron will fight back. 13. Oh, he's on +2. Well, that's a hit. Yes, 13, 15. 4 damage. And the ghoul will back away. Right, Ivan's up now. He'll reload and skip merrily across the bridge. Now it is the Baron himself. He will fire at this ghoul. He's on -1 because of fatigue. But he gets a smashing 18, 17, but more importantly 9 points of damage. And that ghoul is gone. And final activation is the priest, who will move up to the bridge and try and heal the Baron. And this time he is successful. And the Baron's health go back to 5. He was living very dangerously. End of turn event. 7. 2 more ghouls come out of the marshes. Right, first to activate is Molotov. Here he is. He will fire and reload. Last ghoul is on +1, which is 13. Ghoul's defense is 13. That is a hit. 3 damage, which takes that ghoul to 12. And you know what? He's gone. Unit need to get a shifty on now. It is the priest. He will go 6 and try and sprint across the little bridge, which he doesn't do. Followed by the Baron. The ghouls are setting off in pursuit of the unit, but Plonker needs no encouragement. He's over the bridge. He's going to sprint. Hobbles along to join the Baron. Ivan's up now. He's over the bridge. He will sprint as well, which he does do. And finally Urinator, who will reload and move over there. End of turn event. 6. Another ghoul appears towards the edge of the marshes. I've lost track of the noxious gas effect, but I'm going to give him another one now. The priest and Molotov are gasping, both on 6 health. Right, next turn, Molotov will get himself across that stream and then try and sprint, which he doesn't do, so he's lagging behind a bit. The priest is onto that clue marker. 10 of spades. An ornate glass jar containing Himalayan rock salt. This can be used with a firearm for the remainder of the adventure. And you know what? The bog monster was allergic to salt, so that would have been a lot handier earlier. And next up is Plonker. He'll come through there. And he'll open fire on the ghoul. Net 0. And that's a miss. And the ghoul will move to attack. That's 1. It's a miss. Plonk will fight back. Net 0. Also a miss. Ghoul are back away. These 2 ghouls are going to take the shortcut through the bog. Can they catch the unit? Right, the priest is up now. He'll have to come across the bog here and try and sprint, which he doesn't do. You don't want to get into attack with the ghoul. Now it's Urinator. He's lagging behind. He'll come up here and try and run and try and sprint over. Yes, he does. He's over the little bridge. And finally the Baron. He'll come over here and he will fire at the ghoul actually. Net 0 because he moved. And that's a miss. End of turn event. No event. Right, next turn, first to activate is the Baron. He will close to attack. Or close to melee. Ooh. Critical hit. 10 damage. +2. So I think the ghoul is gone. Absolutely carved to bits. Well done, the Baron. Spectacular kill. Ivan's up next. He's over. Urinator. The ghouls are after Molotov, but they're struggling across that stream. Now Molotov will move. Needs to sprint. Which he does just. The priest will move to the final clue marker. He's got the jack. A nice red scarf. This figure's attacks will count as blessed for the remainder of the adventure and +1 courage for the scenario. Again, too little, too late. And Plonker's up again. He's going to move, and if he sprints, he's off the table. He is. So actually, I'm going to call that there. The Serebryanyy Shtyk are on the edge of the dead marsh here. The ghouls chasing after them, and they're the final 2 are stuck thrashing themselves around through the rough ground, and they're not going to catch them. So that is it. The unit have defeated the bog monster. They've crossed the dead marsh, but they have taken a hefty toll there, and will probably have to lay up for a bit to rest and recuperate before they enter the labyrinth. Well done though.